So I never really thought that a handheld PC could be my daily driver when it came to gaming. But the Steam Deck is everything I ever wanted out of a console. I've had my Steam Deck for about a year, and in that time, it has become my go to device for gaming. I thought it was going to be little more than a novelty, not as powerful as my PC or PS5, but good enough to play indie titles. So that's where I started my Steam Deck journey, poring over lists of the best Steam Deck games to play, and I found a bunch of titles that I never really would have given a try otherwise. That's how I became obsessed with roguelikes. For those of you who don't know, because I never really knew about them before getting my deck myself, roguelikes are the perfect session games. Whether you have 5 minutes or 5 hours, there's a roguelike out there for you to enjoy. I began with Balatro, a deck building game based on poker, and I immediately found out why people love this game so much and why it showed up on so many of the best Steam Deck games to play lists. It's addictive, simple to start, but with a depth that keeps you entertained for hours. Then I moved on to Vampire Survivors, and that's when my gaming time really began to primarily consist of me using my Steam Deck. Vampire Survivors is a bullet shooter where the goal is to live for as long as possible, with 30 minutes being the goal to clear a particular level. The more you play, the more you unlock characters that come with various abilities, and along the way you collect more abilities to customize your build. Like Balatro, it's a simple concept, but the choices of abilities reveal a fairly deep game. Vampire Survivors ignited my obsession with that style of roguelikes. Before I knew it, I had titles like Brotato, Megabonk, and Noobs Are Coming, making up the bulk of my gaming time. And if you do decide to get a Steam Deck, I highly recommend each of those games. They all follow the Vampire Survivors formula. You start off with a character that has one ability, and you build out the character as the run goes on, trying to survive long enough to clear a level and unlock more characters. It's the perfect genre to pick up and play regardless of how much time you have to devote to playing. My absolute favorite roguelike is Ball Pit, which is a brick breaker roguelike that follows the formula but adds a base building element, creating 2 gameplay loops to keep you engaged. Once I started Ball Pit, I was hooked, telling myself that this would be my last run of the night over and over. The 2 loops make it so that there's always a reason to dive in for another run. I seriously can't recommend this game enough. It's a must-play for fans of the genre and for people who are just looking to get into it. The Steam Deck is also great for choose-your-own-adventure titles. The newest hit in that genre is, of course, Dispatch, where you play as a former Iron Man-like hero who takes a job managing a team of reformed villains working for a private crime-fighting company. There isn't too much action, but it's a lot like playing an episode of the show Invincible. The dispatching the heroes aspect is just so fun. I would play an entire game consisting only of that, but the story is solid as well. It's a great game for short sessions as well, as episodes are only about 40 minutes to an hour long, or you can binge play and play all the episodes at once if you really wanted to. Now, I've spent the bulk of this video singing the praises of roguelikes and shorter experiences, but that isn't to say that the Steam Deck is only capable of delivering those types of titles, as it's also really great at delivering AAA experiences. Now, I was hesitant to try more AAA games, convinced that they wouldn't run that well, so I started with Kingdom Come Deliverance 1. Last year, I absolutely fell in love with KCD 2, and once I completed that, I knew I needed to go back and try out the first one. I figured it would be the perfect game to try on my Steam Deck because it came out in 2018, and I was blown away by the performance. It's a rather large open-world experience, but the deck handles it like a champ. I've spent over 70 hours playing the game, beating the main story and doing tons of side content, all while sitting on my couch with the TV on in the background. After that, I decided to try out Ghost of Tsushima, a game that I've been meaning to play since it released all the way back in 2020, but never really made time for it. It's absolutely beautiful on the deck. I was blown away and devoted another 40 hours to beating that game, including a bunch of side content and one of the DLC stories. The combat's fun and fluid, almost feeling like a rhythm game at times. It proved to me that more modern games can work well on the deck, which led me to trying KCD 2 on the deck. I just had to see if it would run well. It's my favorite game, possibly ever, and if it ran well on the deck, then I was going to put in another 100 hours into it. I was pleasantly surprised. Granted, there are moments where people and textures pop in, and it gets a little stuttery during cutscenes, but those are minor complaints in the grand scheme of things. I can't wait to devote more time to Henry's story and right some of the wrongs that I made in my first playthrough. So to conclude, the Steam Deck is way more fun than I imagined it to be. For the price, it's worth picking up, especially with PCs continuing to get more expensive. If you really care deeply about the best graphics, you can subscribe to services like GeForce Now, which allows you to stream from their servers. Granted, your internet connection really kind of dictates your experience there, and they capped the monthly limit to 100 hours, which could be a deal breaker for those of us who are more hardcore. I love the Steam Deck, and I wish that I had invested in it sooner, had I known how great of an experience it could provide, which is why I'm making this video for those people who are on the fence. So let me know, have you tried out the Steam Deck yourself, and what do you think of it? Or if this video convinces you to get one, let me know your thoughts on it once you've had some time to devote to playing it. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe. We have new videos coming out every single week. And check out some of our other channels, which include Those Fake Nerds for nerd and pop culture news, Wicked Sports for sports news, Better Radio, which hosts all of our podcasts, and our newest channel, History is Wicked, for stories about cryptids, urban legends, and weird history stories. Again, really appreciate you checking out this video, and I will see you in the next one.